This is NerdFT Radio, where nerds full-time explorers of the metaverse, surfers of the blockchain, and not in our mom's basement. I'm your host, RSG, aka the Spider-Man Addict. I can't put it down. And I'm here with Crypto Crier, aka 30K PFP Man. Crier, other than being rich, how are you?
Doing great, my friend.
Chilling? We're back. Crier, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been like a month.
Like 3 weeks.
It's been almost a month, and this is probably our biggest hiatus we've ever done for Nerd. I know with the holidays and just work and just overall the space, as much as it is booming, and be Spider-Man, as much as the space has been booming and moving, it's more of the sense of just money coming in again instead of actual like insane news until Art Basel. Let's actually just start out right there. Unfortunately, neither Crier or myself were at Art Basel. I was supposed to go. Just unfortunately, I had some work stuff on my side. I do have my ticket just sitting there in my email. Thank you, Crier, for the 30K. Oh, it got used?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, dope. All right. I don't feel bad now.
I made FOMO carry me around.
Oh, love it. Did he actually?
I FaceTimed and I was talking to him. It was like him and Frankie. Oh, it's Frankie Dukes. We got Bandit,
shout out to them.
All the usual event homies.
Art Basel homies. Yes. Let's actually just jump into that before we get into the overall side of Art Basel, which again was pretty much taken over by Pudgy. Let's talk about Pudgy Crier. Obviously, I faded. You didn't. We had Luke on. Turns out he got something cooking. Turns out these Pudgies of penguins are cooking. And what the hell is going on? Obviously, from an outside scope of things, not being in the ecosystem, they went over to Art Basel. They had an awesome event. I've seen pictures, videos, you name it. That was the talk of the town for Art Basel, of course, on the NFT side. And we had a very awesome video right after it. If I'm not mistaken, for some reason, they didn't show it at the event, but during the event, they just posted it. Oh, they did?
Cool time showed them watching the video live. All
right, perfect. So let's hear what the hell just happened. Am I saying this correctly, Crier? Is this Pudgy World?
Pudgy World, yeah. So they had
what is this?
Little short animated, like little skit with looks like really high graphic quality, and it looked like almost like a little Pixar animated like short or something like that. I would say pretty good, high quality. So I was pretty impressed with that. Literally all day, my kids have been reenacting the entire little movie
skit.
Love it. And Hayes is quite the showman. But either way, they did a really good job. The event was pretty entertaining. I think they are showing that they're like pushing the brand
here to
extremely heavily. And it looks like this is going to be a game that is going to be launching Q1 of next year, which I think is moving pretty quickly. And from the side, like we've already been in it a little bit. Like I've done like the little jumping games that they had released out. This obviously looks like way more flesh, like it's a full-on town that you're going in and playing with. I do think it could be really interesting. I still think it's going to be like a social interaction type thing. Someone made a really good point, and I think it's been brought up a bunch, is like the idea of other side versus something like this. Like how many people can they capture? What's their audience? And I do think they're completely different. I think this is definitely focused on younger kids, that very much so the Club Penguin social interaction game. And we're looking up some stats on that. And at one time, accounts, Club Penguin had 250 million accounts signed up.
What was the game back then?
And the highest concurrent users was, I think it was almost like 50 million, which is wild.
Back in the day, PC games like the RuneScape, the WoW, the Club Penguin, for all of you Disney people, VMK, if you remember that one, and all these other games, even what's the other one? Maple Story. What's the other one that everyone Damn, I can't think of another one. But again, that was a great time to be alive for those that were able to be a part of that. And truly, I'll personally say this, we just haven't gotten something like that in a while. Obviously, you can say the Roblox of the world, the Minecraft of the world, but it's more the sense of the leveling up as well as the social aspect of it. I personally just haven't seen it in a while, and hopefully on this side of things, if it's anything close to Club Penguin, remember my joke, Crier, the real achievement here is when they can actually just purchase Club Penguin from Disney instead of just trying to be the next Club Penguin. That's my goal for Pudgy, but obviously a joke there. But it looks awesome. Like you said, the actual way it looks is obviously so much better than a Club Penguin, and that's what we want to see. We don't want to see the same old like we get on the backside. This nostalgic feeling that all these NFT projects need to make this nostalgic game and whatnot. It's no. Remember, we're not trying to go. I know we're obviously you're trying to sell to the older heads, the 25 and up, or even 21 and up. But again, the next generation is the most important, to make games for those individuals that are going to implant something in their mind, just like it implanted for myself with Club Penguin, RuneScape, yourself with WoW, all these games. We need that to happen so that later down the road, they're spending the money to get this Pudgy Penguin, to get this little Pudgy, to get this fishing rod, to get all these other things. And on top of that, they're crushing it obviously on the toy side, which is going to onboard so many people into this game if you are able to.
They were also showcasing like they had the game that was playing on like like a full arcade machine. They're definitely going after arcade style like implants into Dave and Buster's.
Let me ask you, Crier. How high does the floor price have to get for Pudgy for you to buy one of those arcade games for your own home?
Let's do 75 ETH.
Deal. Hey, someone clip that. Thank you. Keep going.
No, but I think they're going definitely the route of, again, they're just crazy verticals, right? Like they have the Instagram and the push on TikTok and the push on all of the media with the intro. We've been seeing like the whole couple penguin videos for a year now. Like they've been doing the little shorts, and it's always like a couple, like a male and female penguin doing something silly. And I think that really branches into what they built here, which is now they're actually named. We saw that with Doodles, where like the Happen Mellow, that's actually their characters that they're going with. But instead of here's two random things that you've never seen before, besides like once or twice, it's now you've seen these for a year, and these are great little videos, and you've had a little backstory, and now they actually have a name.
You know what's really funny? Really quick, I actually had someone in the community council of Cool Cats. He or she, I won't say the name since I don't know why they haven't posted on X yet, but the 49ers had their massive game today, right? They had a big game today. It was week 16, week 15, whatever it is. And they were playing against, I think it was the Seahawks, if I'm not mistaken. And on the Jumbotron, I don't even know you know this unless you're the Pudgies already know all this shit. This is
the Pudgies.
The Pudgy dancing on the Jumbotron, which is actually really cool to see because, again, they're just embedding themselves into everything. So you talk about these gifts, that's where they started. They were the front runners for the gift aspect of it because we do see Cool Cats doing the same thing. We see Doodles doing the same things. And by the way, both, but the great thing about it is that they're doing very well. Each one, Doodles is doing phenomenal right now. Cool Cats
Doodles
doing
getting like 50 million, 150 million or something like that in 40 hours, which is pretty big. And I think there's a lot of growth on all of these that are happening like really quickly. And people are like, the thing is like Pudgy's has now made the blueprint. Here is what you need to do to extend your brand in this digital age. You're coming out, you have the shorts, you have the really cheap intro level stuffies. The stuffies are then giving you the first taste of NFTs forever. This is the first time you're going to own an NFT generally. And then that NFT gets you access for $8, gets you a digital collectible, and it gets you access to a little game. That's crazy value. That's like, the value load for that for $8 or whatever is crazy high.
Think about how myself, just let's use me as an example with NBA Top Shot. It was a $50 digital pack, and that's all I got. And there was nothing to do with it other than hold it, sell it, or literally that's it. You couldn't even put it into one of those like challenges to get other cards at the time. So in this aspect of it, when we're talking about this next cycle where things are going to pop off again, obviously we're already seeing bits and pieces of it right now. Imagine a world where not only is there going to be another cycle, right, where all these NFTs, or some obviously, will pump and do very well, but the onboarding aspect of it is not only just going to be just throwing money into something, just wishing something happens. You're going to receive a tangible thing, which is going to onboard even more people because they're going to feel more secure by buying something and also receiving something that's going to allow you to explore NFTs, to explore the blockchain like never before. Obviously, it took these projects 2, 3, 2-3
years
years
to
to
realize
build.
that people actually use physical.
Not even, but here's the thing, not realize, because back then they didn't have the funds to do it, right? Because they were a startup. They didn't have the IP to go to a manufacturer and be like, hey, make this toy for us. They're going to be like, who the fuck are you? So now with all these impressions, with the floor prices, obviously a factor as much as people don't want to say it, with the community, with the holders, with the partnerships, all these things that they have, it's going to be a lot easier to go into these stores like the Walmarts, like the Macy's, like the Targets, like I don't know, Hot Topic, Barnes & Noble. Does Barnes & Noble even exist anymore? All these stores to go in there, very few, right? Amazon, all these things. And then these people, these brand new people, brand new wallets in the space will receive something and then get the NFTs. And with that something, for those that are just like, screw it, I still got something, the others will be like, I got something, plus I now understand why the hell these stupid animal PFPs on X have been yelling at me to get into this space. And now it makes sense.
And all it took was $8 versus an insane
50,
amount of money.
100, 95, etc. So no, it's super awesome what they're doing.
And again, it shows you why when we see this, we haven't been given an item here as a community. Luca purchased the collection with little Pudgies and rods and big Pudgies all already released. There's never been a secondary drop. There's never been anything else. We're not expecting you give us free shit. We're just like, you guys are killing it. You guys are growing an actual real brand and product. We feel comfortable supporting it because it's eight to the highest purchase thing is like $25 for one of their toys, which is easily accessible for all of us. Literally today, my kids were like doing the reenactment with the little stuff. I just realized I have like an insane amount of them. And if I had any other, like your $200 doodle, like that's not accessible to anybody.
You can't even buy it anymore. You literally can't.
Super limited edition. And
I will say, out of all the toys I've gotten, this is by far the best one. But again, it's more of on the collectible. It's
not a toy
side.
though. It's like
it's not a
very
a toy.
highly
it's a collectible,
very expensive collectible.
Absolutely.
Which is usually reserved to the people who are already like. They've already bought all the crappy ones, and they already bought like the ones that got destroyed. And
it's like with Marvel, where they have like the action figures, like the very low value action figures, not even Funko, like a little bit higher than Funko, what you play with, and then you get to the collectibles where
like the box, you keep it in the box, and
right here, this fucking 10-foot or not 10-foot, I think that's 15-inch fucking Iron Man that I have here. Again, it's just really cool to see when this next cycle goes into it. Again, that's the main thing for me, is that these projects are now going to be embedded into the Walmarts, into the Macy's, into the Amazons, hopefully, to go ahead and bring people on, and they're going to receive that aspect of what we've been seeing has worked so well in the past 40, 50, 60 years, which is opening card packs. But this time it's just not the cards that are going to go in your shoebox, that are going to go into your closet. And by the way, for those people that are in the trading card game, when I ask you this question, don't get offended by it, but out of all the baseball cards, basketball cards, football cards, even Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, any cards that we think of, what's the percent that are actually valuable? It's probably 1, if not 2%. It's probably even 0.1. Exactly. So for the individuals that are seeing blockchain, NFTs, all these things, when, everything's going to zero, guess what? Maybe you were right, but the 1%, the 0.5, the 0.3, the 0.1 that are sticking, you should understand why it's that valuable. You should understand
why they're
the future of this. And again, we haven't seen new IP. It's hard to make new IP in the world that we live in today because of the Disneys, the Marvels,
you can't
the
proliferate
DCs.
it. That's the problem.
Extremely hard. The last one, what's the last one that we really saw? I would say maybe like Roadblocks has been like the one that's been like popping off. That's brand new. Minecraft, sure, I got that in high school. Fortnite, I'd probably say Fortnite's up there. Bluey on the side of kids. Bluey came out of like nowhere in the last few years. It's extremely hard if you're not Disney, Universal, or what am I missing? They're Cartoon Network.
Like I guess Paw Patrol is pretty big in terms of
Paw Patrol. That's another one.
They came out and made like a lot of money quickly, but still, they're all from like massive companies already. They're not from like tiny companies. And the idea that I just think like for how long it took to proliferate this much, it's purely because he actually values the community.
Absolutely. 110%. He's embedded into it, and he's taking into account.
We actually push and market the good things that he's made because we want to. Yeah, and that's
A
why.
lot
And
of people
because
don't own these assets.
we feel respected and heard versus the opposite of that, which is every other collection in existence.
Unfortunately.
So I do think that we're getting some really interesting stuff coming. The next release from them is going to be Overpass. We haven't had any official dates. On our podcast, he did say not too long, Q1 of next year. So Overpass is going to be the next release, and it's going to be essentially a marketplace for IP. I think that's going to be something coming with. We already had the season 1 collectibles come out. They got their licensing. Now we're going to have the season 2 of the collectibles. So we'll choose new people collectibles to be made into stuffed animals, stuff like that. And I think the way that they're going to do it is going to be a lot different this time than compared to last time. For the first round, he did mention that it was going to be more focused on either possibly not in perpetuity, like the first collectors are getting, or the first season ones are getting royalties for a very long time as long as they're selling them, whereas it's going to be more like a contract for a year or something like that for each season. So I think it's going to be a little bit less rewarding on the side of the Penguins, but at the same time, this I think is really interesting because now we're seeing they have a new thing in their Discord where it's you have a product that's using a Pudgy, show it to us, we'll promote it if it's good. That's now the thing. Now we're seeing everybody walking around with the little Pudgy hot dog wristband. Do you see those things? And that's like a third-party product. I'm just saying
I get it, but what would you? I'm gonna. This is me being just super honest. I wear weird shit, and I have.
I wouldn't wear it.
Look at my fucking
kid
room,
would
right?
100% wear that.
Okay, I'm just trying to think of myself. What grade is your kid in? Oldest?
Kindergarten.
What the fuck was I doing in kindergarten? Yeah, probably I'd wear a hot dog.
You definitely would.
Keep going.
I'm just saying if you liked it or whatever. There are adults walking around with them. I don't think that's like what they're showing is all
you
adults
do it right.
watching.
Yeah.
But that's more. But like how like you as a person go and make a slap bracelet with a penguin on it.
Oh yeah.
And go try to sell that, and I guarantee you're getting way less sales compared to this. You're getting literally zero compared to you already have your name out there. There's already the IP that people that realize and recognize it and already love it. So then now that third party person can come in and skip like a ton of work realistically, especially in the product industry. I do think that's where they're headed. That's what they're going for. I think that next release is going to cause a lot more realization of where they're going. And I think that's where the next release is a lot more value forward, I think. So really cool stuff. I'm super happy about the release and everything that was happened. And everyone that I saw went there. I wasn't able to make it, but someone used my ticket, so I made them walk around with the FaceTime.
That was my agreement with Crier as well.
Yeah.
But again, unfortunately, wasn't able to go. But
so
it was
we
great to see
somebody in. Frankie, shout out to Frankie and FOMO. They were carrying me around a little bit, showing me some people that I missed. But yeah, it looked great. So I'm excited about it. There were some other events that were really good. Cool Man, he went to the Cool Man's one, so Frankie went to the Cool Man. I
actually did not see anything about that. So what's the rundown on that one?
Yeah, so he said it was pretty intimate, like not super big, but he said it was really cool still. He did a live painting. It was just like good music, free food, and free drinks. He also said the alpha for that was cool. I personally think Cool Man's has some of the best merch, and it's all 75% off. The shirt is now like literally $8 on.
Whoa!
Yeah. $8.
I've said this from the get-go, and if you guys remember our episode with Cool Man Dan, Dan, I straight up said they have the best merch. I wear it all the freaking time. So if you're telling me,
so now they have their like regular t-shirts are like $8 to $10, and the hoodie was like $20 for that really nice hoodie with the space on it.
Where do I go?
The space special. I can send you a link. It was literally like the Cool Man's Universe page, and it said deals or whatever.
Oh, in this mid podcast. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, gotta buy shit mid podcast. But I think everything, like wearable wise, was like up the 75% off, and then like the hat was thing that wasn't like reduced, and that was still $20 or whatever. But overall, literally, I got like a pair of pants, a shirt, and the hoodie, and it was like $34 or $40. It was like crazy cheap. So I was excited about that. Anyways, the event he said it was super fun, super cool. He's taking the Pudgy approach too. He has collectibles coming out He's just partnered with Crocs, so this event was sponsored by Crocs, so he has shoes coming out with them, and I think it's going to be targeted with their launch of they had prototypes of the collectibles there, and Frankie said they were cool and nice, and going on the same thing. It's like literally that's what Cool Man's been doing since he started YouTube, is literally connecting people with his little characters. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's like the OG on that side of it. Pudgy came in and started doing that recently. He's been doing that for 10 years or something like that. Wild amount of time. So everyone does. If you've ever followed him at all, you've seen his characters. But so I do think that those will probably do fairly decent as well, as long as there's some good restructuring. I knew he brought some people on. Hunter Orwell was one that got added to the team. He was like a pretty big Yuga guy, so I think they picked him up to run some of the team stuff. But I do know that was one of Dan's always been his problem, is very much so one man show, wasn't able to delegate stuff, wasn't super good on the business side. I was able to pretty much bankrupted it with events and stuff like that. So I do think that they'll probably see some turnaround. He said it was great. What else was there? We saw. I didn't see much from D-Gods.
D-Gods, there was something. I know there was a community
NFT,
Sappy
he said
Seals
the NFT
event.
Now was cool. Yeah, there was Sappy Seals event. That was like it was like not their actual event, but like a side community event with what's it called? Cabozos or whatever I think it's called.
Yeah. I know Klon was there to do some murals, and also Klon and Jarvis were at the Pudgy event as well. Obviously, nothing big on not obviously, but there's nothing big on the Cool Cat side at Art Basel this year, nor Doodles. This is the one I'm upset about because Doodles literally is home. Don't they work from Miami?
That's what they said.
Interesting. Nothing on the Doodle side, unfortunately. I know
we saw some
Wanders
stuff
Nick, the founder, was over there.
Yeah, I saw that. A lot of big gaming people were there. Shrapnel, I saw, was hosting all the Pudgy gaming people. I will say, house or whatever.
I will say for all the people that had FOMO about Art Basel this year, it was a really funny tweet I saw earlier today from Cool Times. Cool Times obviously was there. He's from the South Florida area, so he always goes to Art Basel. He goes, I know some people have Basel FOMO, so I'm just going to keep it real with you. Most events are just dudes on their phones standing in line to get drinks. So for those people that have FOMO, unless you're crier and just talk to everyone and market yourself and do your thing and network, you were probably just going to be in line trying to grab a drink.
Ultimate
he's the ultimate one. I'll be honest with you guys. I do the other side of it. Just I'm doing this the whole time, waiting for my drink, pumping it. So other than
drinking and pumping,
you guys are pretty good. Actually, I've actually stopped drinking for some time now, so we'll see how that lasts. We'll see how it goes. Probably the worst time to do it in the holidays, right? Red Sober Guy is what my next name is on that side.
RSG.
But obviously, one of the main takeaways from Art Basel is, even though it wasn't as big as the other Art Basels that we've been to, it's still alive. People are still doing it. Projects are still going big. And I truly believe that these projects need to aim for the Art Basels, for the South by Southwest, for the Comic-Cons, for all these other things that are not NFT related. Denver. Unless, and this is just the one I always say, is it's the only one that they do it the right way, and it's VCon, because it's in one stadium, one place, and you get all the NFT people to go. Obviously, he only said it was going to be for 3 years, so outside of that, hopefully there is that one big NFT event that everyone goes to, and it's in one secluded area. So that's
when the V1 V-Friends first edition expires. It'll be out.
Not expires, but we'll find out what the next thing is, what's going to go down. But other than that, let's go into a little bit on the gaming side.
I actually got some cool stuff.
Go ahead.
Gaming side.
Oh, yeah.
Gods Unchained. Do you see this?
Okay. No. Go.
You know what Gods Unchained is the game?
Yes, I do.
The Gods Unchained game, it's like another trading card game partnered with Amazon, and we'll be getting free packs to Amazon Twitch subscribers for the next 6 months.
You're talking free money.
I think that's going to be huge.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be really big.
That's phenomenal. I always do
People
that.
love that free shit from Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
I always do it. I do it every time. Even if I don't always try the games, like the really small games, but I definitely download all of them. And if I never heard of that game, I definitely look it up. I think this could be a pretty huge,
partnership.
Really big. On the news, IMX absolutely ripped. I think it up to like $2. So pretty massive amount of increase there.
By the way,
so IMX is Immutable Chain. They're pretty much the originators of Gods Unchained. So I do think that essentially they've had this playbook going. And I think that's where stuff is heading towards. We're seeing a lot of competitors on chains. It's like Avalanche. We have Ronan. IMX. We have Ronan is now huge. They're picking up a ton of new games. They picked up Pixels, Apimon. Now they have that Wild Forest game on there. Wild Forest is like super fun. I've been playing it. And I do think that there's going to be like this battle of the gaming chains. Gala is the other one. Gala, all these ones are in the forefront of game. Right now is the time for them to, it's before everyone's kicking off. They're going after the big name games to see where they go. And I think the chain who picks up the most quality is going to do really well. It's going to be like that ecosystem, like where almost like a Steam type system where it moats you off from getting trampled because guess what? We have all the good games over on our chain, right? They had a lot of users that stuck with Axies, and they have people like the Axie fan base is like hungry to play games. So now we're seeing games
something else other than Axie, right?
Yeah, crush because they get the user base is just excited to play anything realistically. So we've seen the levels shoot off, and now we're just seeing people go to Ronan. It's been like 3 or 4 that have transferred to Ronan within the last month. So all of them are doing pretty well, those token wise, and just pick up user acquisition wise and expansion wise. So I do think it's interesting.
Just remember, by the way, this is what I was trying to say. It was VV is on IMX. Just to let you guys know. I know you guys think VV is dead, but it's on IMX. And also IMX is partnered with GameStop. So they're still trying to do their thing on that side.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, they're going for big players. Partnerships are key at the moment. That's how they're going to funnel in the next people that are going to be onboarded. And like you said, that Amazon partnership is absolutely massive because like the opportunity of just people grabbing free stuff. And if they like it, they're like, oh, shit.
It's the world's largest.
There you go.
Marketplace.
Absolutely.
By far. And now you're getting a huge exposure because all those Prime people can literally do that for free. And that's been one of the most rewarding things. You get so much good shit from that, I feel like. I've used so many of the things from those free packs or benefits from Twitch. So,
and for those wondering what else you can get on that, there's actually a free week of RuneScape membership if you ever want to just jump on RuneScape for a little bit. Just had to say that. Sorry.
Nice. Yes, plugging it up with the old school one.
Yeah, old school or new school, either or. Just letting people know that you can play some.
We got some other gaming news. We had Sugartown Auras by Zynga are doing extremely well right now. They broke up into like 0.7, I believe.
Wait, what just happened?
What?
They went to 0.7?
Yeah, they've been ripping, dude. You didn't see that?
No, I thought they went to 0.4 and stopped.
No, they've ripped. They're at this afternoon they were at 0.78. I think they're at 0.7 right now.
I think we're looking at the wrong. All right, keep going.
But yeah, so it was actually funny.
Oh my God, 0.6. You're absolutely right. They're crushing. What the hell? All right, look at that.
No, they went way higher than 0.6 too.
Okay, they're doing their thing.
I think it's a great thing. The reason they pumped is Beanie said they were undervalued, so literally everyone went
smart
right after Beanie.
Fuck Beanie. Sorry, excuse me. Art
yeah,
chick.
exactly.
Sorry, I don't know who he is.
That was the whole debate. Is no one thinks for themselves, and they like Beanie said it, and then the floor doubled, and now it's going to go back down to 0.4 because people sell off.
People are underestimating the whole
I definitely
agree. Of Zynga because there's a stat, I think it was Camel that posted it, 10% of the world plays a Zynga game every day. Zynga was one, if not the best PC game, like not all time, but it's up there because as much as people want to dog like the casual game. Farmville, it's the casual game or the Zynga poker or like all these other games, the partnerships that they have partnership with Star Wars, they have partnership with Marvel, they have partnership with all these other things. And on top of that, they're owned by the freaking company that owns all of 2K, Rockstar, and all these wild games that, by the way, we saw the trailer for GTA 6. All these games are a part of. So for Zynga to be like, hey, we're going to make this happen, I think it's really cool. And on top of that, we've already talked about this before, but they literally went and got incredible people to join their team to figure this out. Shout out Camel. Obviously, on the sense of gaming wise, the games are more on the casual side. You're not going to get the next Fortnite. You're not going to get the next all-time heights. You're not going to get the next Call of Duty. You're not going to get the next Spider-Man. I whooped it. I beat the first one, 90 Miles Morales 100%. Spider-Man 2 100%. Phenomenal. We'll talk about that later. But you're not going to receive something like that. But later down the road, you might. Because again, the whole multiplayer aspect, they did touch upon it in Farmville at the later half of Farmville. So hopefully we start seeing that. Again, at the end of the day, when I look at what NFTs can be, and I'm pretty sure that you agree with me here, is the whole aspect of the social aspect of it, plus the levels, plus the games, plus everything. We don't just want a game that's story mode and that's it, and you can only do that. You want to interact with other people. You're on the internet just like we are on X, Discord, Spaces on X, all these things. We're talking with one another. We're doing things with one another. We want that whole community feel of it. And hopefully we go into that. Obviously, on the beginning side of things, you're just going to play a game and you're going to have a leaderboard and that's it. But hopefully down the road,
just
it's
expands.
more than
Yeah,
that,
it's just
right?
like,
We
it's
want
like
it to expand.
Their tests maneuver into when Web3. They're releasing old games that they had in their previous catalog and just making them have some sort of Web3 enabled function, such as leaderboarding, or they get rewards, or you have a lot higher rewards than they would previously because they're like essentially incentivized on the side of like top person gets 3 auras, which now is 1.8 ETH. That's a lot. That's a $5,000 reward for the top winner. That's a big amount of money. And the same 100%. Dude wins every time. Like SmokyPot.eth and
he or she's a dog.
One other dude, I can't remember his name, but they're literally every time I've seen the leaderboard done, it's those 3 dudes.
If you're good, you're good.
If he's pulling in, they've had a couple of those tournaments. He's probably pulled in 9 of those auras that he's now been able to just hold. I'm sure he's holding them because he gets benefits for holding them if he's going to compete. So I doubt he's been selling. So I guarantee you he's literally gotten probably close to 4 or 5 ETH for free over the past little while to just by competing in this game.
It makes sense. Listen, at the end of the day, when you're early to something and you're being rewarded for being early, that's what's going to happen. You just have to believe in the brand, believe in the company that you're investing into, and hopefully they have a good game and hopefully they're doing great things and you're going to be rewarded for it. We saw that in the first cycle. Hopefully a little broken in the first cycle, but hopefully in the second cycle, those individuals working on these projects
the wheat's getting separated from the chaff here. We're getting the good stuff. I saw
the other thing, let's hear it.
Someone said they overheard founders complaining about Pudgy Penguins because now they can't deliver nothing and get big paychecks and say we're grinding.
Jesus. Yeah. Those people that are upset, get the fuck out of the space. Get the fuck out of anything I'm involved in because I don't want that shit. All right, the other thing that we do have that we've actually been talking for a long ass time, and hopefully we will have Nick from Wanderers on to talk about, is that we did have the Wanderers RAM beta bundle mint. From the get-go, we thought it was going to be that 4,444 the supply. They actually freaking cut that shit in half to 2,222. The mint was 0.055, minted out, I think, in 2-3 hours. Yeah. What you received from it was 1 beta code, 3 packs of RAM, up to 21 total RAMs, highest ever chance to pull ultra rare RAM cards, and a unique beta RAM cards. Too much RAM in there. Holders can level up bundles to get more RAM. Are you gonna make me say RAM all this time? But it's
they
super
have
awesome.
Spaces tomorrow when you're listening to this today, this afternoon at 3. That's going to cover their tokenomics and from Animoca. Definitely would be worth listening to. I'll listen to it. I'll do a recap of what they hear, what they say.
We don't even need your recap. We're gonna have the horse's mouth on to give us the recap soon.
Yeah, it's true. When is he coming on?
It should be in the next 2 weeks.
All right, cool. So we'll have him in the next 2 weeks. So I will do a recap because it's gonna be
We'll do
but yeah, we have some good guests coming up. We got him from Wanderers, Nick, shout out. And then we also have Nifty Island, which is releasing a pretty interesting game.
The other thing I did want to mention for those individuals that minted RAM, you will now have an achievement, which is 222 XP on your profile over in the Wanderers website. Go grab that XP. I actually haven't done that, so I'm going to go do that right now. But again, from what we've heard and what we've seen, the game looks great. The visuals look great. When we think about NFT projects, talk about like PFP, you think about the Doodles, you think about Bored Ape, you think about Pudgy, you think about Cool Cat, that you think about these projects and you aesthetically, even Cool Man's aesthetically, you like how they look and they look awesome and you would want to own one of these days, right? On the sense of when you and I know we can talk for ourselves here, but when we look at Wanders and we saw Wanders when it first started, we were like, holy shit, this looks so dope. Again, it's really cool to see that we're finally going to have this world of Wanders. And when you have good IP, when you have good art, when you have good storytelling, when you have good, just overall good things happen. And obviously for Animoca to say, hey, we're backing you up, here's some money, let's fucking go, I'm super excited on that side. Other than that, what other stuff we got on the gaming side, on the blockchain at least? Because obviously I'm gonna have
we got a lot of, we have, this month is chocked full of stuff. Shrapnel supposed to be coming out this month. We have Shrapnel's been doing incredibly well. The token's up 40 cents, I believe. AVAX itself is up at like $40. It literally doubled from like a week ago. It was $20 like a week ago. Not even a week ago, I think. So that's been ripping. So the whole Axe Avalanche ecosystem has been doing really well. What you call it? Jewel is up to 80 cents. And it was like 6 cents like a couple weeks ago.
Are we running
it back, dude. I'm definitely running back.
Oh yeah, you're chilling right now. Probably you've got some money back now.
No, definitely not. I'm still down, but it is nice to come
rather
back
than
and be
6 cents.
Yeah, 80 is way better than 6 cents. So
yeah,
I'll definitely get that. But no, we saw some
20 was better, but
I've always said this too. Like it was my Axie play. Like I literally went through a whole cycle with Axie and it died and then came back heavy as soon as they released the games. This could do the same thing. So we'll see. But
let's see what happens.
What else we got? Parallel cards come out. The next expansion comes out in 3 days.
I did really like what one of the founders posted, that they're trying to get like the PFPs of a lot of the NFT side of things, PFP NFTs, to get into Parallel and whatnot. So again, it's just the overall founder that likes to collab, that wants to move the space forward, and they understand that without competition, without others being successful as well, there's not going to be a space to truly be successful and truly grow. So for them to help each other,
that's what I like about Jack Butcher,
etc. Let's make it happen on that side.
Constantly collaborating with people. He did the Penguin collab. He did Snowfro collabs. He's doing a lot of that kind of stuff. Really focused on that expansion there. What else was there? I just had something around the top of my head for a second. Anyways, there's a ton of stuff right now. We're at the cusp of a ton of stuff releasing. I talked to Wob a little while ago. There was some sappy stuff coming up pretty shortly. So I do think that's another one that should be watching. And again, they have the gaming narrative too. There's so many collections that are doing so much better recently just because of all of the liveliness back in the market. What actually is being created, it's definitely killing it.
Oh, it's super awesome to see. And like you said, we're little by little, step by step, we might be going back into what we witnessed the first side of it. And we're going to see a lot of people come back. And some of those you're going to remember that you really didn't like. So be cautious when you get back into this space, even if for those listeners that haven't been with us for the last year or so, because, oh shit, NFTs have died. Now you're coming back slowly and figuring out, hey, you have the master plan to figure this out this time. So hopefully this time we actually have a product at hand. We have games, we have toys, we have things that we can actually do with these animal PFPs, and we can make something happen on that side. But things are moving. But other than that, Crier, I got to nerd out a little bit at the end because I've been knee deep in my PlayStation 5.
This is like an hour special.
No, I got you. I'll make this 3 minutes. I'll make this 3 minutes. All right. Number one, I played all the Spider-Mans. Like I said before, 94% the first one, unbelievable. The end of the first one, sensational. Number two, everyone told me Miles Morales wasn't that good. It should have been a DLC. I fucking loved it. I 100%ed it. Playing as Miles Morales is 10 times better than actually playing as Peter Parker, unfortunately. But fortunately, because I personally believe Miles Morales is better, more powers. Number three, Spider-Man 2 is by far one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. From the story mode to the side missions to everything you can think of. Unfucking believable. On the One Piece side, I already told you guys I've been reading One Piece now. I'm in Skypiea. For those that watch One Piece, Crier doesn't watch it unless it's live action. So here we are. I have one of my buddies that's watching the anime as I'm reading, and my girlfriend Carolina, she's actually enjoying it and watching it as well. I think she's on episode 160 something. So she's cooking on that side. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, I've never played this before because this is actually my first PlayStation ever that I've ever owned. I've always been on the Xbox side. My dad worked for Microsoft for 15 years, so he culticized me into
blasphemy.
Xbox. Yeah, God of War.
Yeah, God of War's great.
Holy shit. This is the one thing I'll say about God of War, and I actually did that in a minute and a half. God of War is the first anything that in less than an hour, so one episode, I'm absolutely hooked into not just the game, but the character.
Yeah,
the
man,
characters.
Great.
Holy shit. Like the voice acting, the storyline, the battling, how it looks, like everything about this game. I'm playing God of War 4 right now. I also purchased Ragnarok, which I'm going in not order because there's more God of Wars, but I'm going with this one, then I'll go Ragnarok. But I'm just like shocked how good this game is. And I'm shocked.
You've been hearing about it for a decade, I'm sure.
Not as much as you'd think, right? Maybe it's just a type. Again, a lot of my friends are more on the Xbox side, and also for the PlayStation friends, which I do have a lot. It was more my generation for some reason, except one of my friends were all shooters, right? They were all multiplayer: RuneScape, Club Penguin, Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield, Battlefront, etc. It was never story mode, except my one friend Grapes that we have in NRN. And I've been talking to him. He's actually the one that's watching One Piece as well. But I've been talking to him about these like story mode games. They're just fucking sensational, man. PlayStation definitely has it on that side. And I would have wished I would have probably got into it a lot sooner. But it's super awesome to play these games. It's a lot of fun. But
I was always a switch back and forth. I got an Xbox.
Then yeah, that's where. So people, what you did was you got a original Xbox. Then you went to PlayStation 2. Then you went to Xbox 360. Then you went to PlayStation 4. And then after I stopped pick one Xbox, and go. Yeah, exactly.
Xbox One or whatever.
Yeah, you stop right there. But the 360 was better than the PlayStation 3, then the PS4 was better than the Xbox One, and now both of these are very similar except the actual exclusives. I will personally say, and this is going to fucking rattle some feathers here, the UI for PlayStation sucks.
Oh, you don't like it? Oh, I love it.
Dude, it looks good, sounds good, everything like that, but they make it so complex for no freaking reason, and it blows my mind. They can do things so much easier, which I think Xbox does such a phenomenal job with, that I'm trying. I'm giving, I've told all my friends on the PlayStation side, I have a PlayStation, I'm giving it a go. There's no more shit talking for me. I have it, so I can't anymore. And just the overall UI, it looks phenomenal. I think it looks better than Xbox in the whole nine. But like to use it, it feels clunky. It's weird. Maybe it's just because I haven't been a user, but I made the joke earlier that Xbox is like Android. This is a joke and you're going to laugh at, or you're going to be like, no, but Xbox is the Android to PlayStation is the iPhone. And it was really funny when I said that to my buddy because he has an Android as well, like yourself, weirdos. But it was really funny to be on the opposite side of it where I'm the one defending it. But yeah, other than that, on your side, Crier, how's everything else going?
I go good. We just got back from vacation. We've been doing the daily spaces. So if anyone's interested, we do lunch spaces.
1 p.m. Eastern.
1 p.m. Eastern. I got picked up from Arcade, so I'm now an Arcade ambassador, which is pretty interesting because, just from listening to this podcast, I'm sure you've heard me talk about some sort of NFT lending. I'm always on and on about it. Yeah. So they pretty much are with me on that side where we cross promote our content and help the our equal brands grow. You'll be seeing some more Arcade content.
Also, Crier has a secret weapon. I'm going to just tell for the listeners here, whenever Crier says the word arcade, I have to make a sponsored ad on the spot based on the conversation that we're having. So we're going to see how this goes. If you're in the lunch spaces, you'll get it. And if you're in NRN and or NerdFT listening, let's see how this goes. Maybe he will forget this because I just made this up on the fly. But anytime he says arcade, I have to automatically do a sponsor ad for him for Arcade on the fly. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's been going good. But overall, I think
ask him. It's been great. I'm phenomenal with them. Anyone that's looking for ad I'm your guy.
Yeah, Archie's the dude. And then, but yeah, overall, been doing great. We've had a great December. It was fun. I was down in Florida for 2 weeks, so we hit up Universal. That was super fun.
Busch Gardens,
Island Adventure, and the regular Universal Studios.
You went to Busch Gardens, right?
And Busch Gardens, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought I was losing it. Yeah.
No, it was fun. We didn't get to do a lot of rides at the Busch Gardens because we had so many kids. But the Velocicoaster or whatever
at Universal, did you go on it?
Yeah, dude, have you been on there?
Yo, yeah, how great, right? Phenomenal. Woo, sensational. Did you go into the new Minions ride, the one where you're shooting?
Yeah, the little.
What did you think?
It was okay. It's definitely geared way more towards kids.
But the gun's heavy. Obviously not super heavy, but you're holding it and up. And I can't imagine kids. I can't imagine Hayes looking at it like.
Lydia's tiny. He was going ham. He didn't say anything. Lydia got the little gun because they have.
I didn't even know there's little guns. Oh, I should ask for little guns. I'll murk everyone if I had a little gun. God damn. Yeah, of course.
Arms.
Come on, bro. I don't got arms.
But she loved it. We went through a couple times on that one because there's just literally walk in and go through. But yeah, she's. Can I please have the little gun?
That's funny. I gotta do that next time. I'm gonna do that next time.
But yeah, overall it was great. I was impressed with all the stuff.
Universal's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
She went on.
It's expensive.
Was her first. She's 3, so she's pretty
first time
tiny.
doing some stuff.
She got to go on the Flight of the Hippogriff or whatever, which is wild.
Is that the Harry Potter one?
Yeah,
in the back, the little roller coaster. That's actually really funny. That was my first ever roller coaster I've ever ridden.
It's pretty fast.
Yes,
for the size and all the stuff. So yeah, she was on. She absolutely loved it. But we kept on going on and on because no one was there,
really. That means we're gonna like roller coasters at a later age, which means great stuff.
Yeah, she was loving it. So she was going ham, and people would walk off, and I hear people overhear people say, did she just get off that? She's crazy tiny, and
that's awesome. Yeah, dude, say it to my face. That's what she was saying. But yeah, man, other than that, again, we've been on a little hiatus, which means that we just have to go even harder now. So the episodes are going to keep piling up now because we got some guests coming on. The games are rolling. The blockchain's pumping. The crypto and the coins and
other games that are on probably on the grind. The Providence is one that's coming up for Avalanche. I'm having a meet with them on tomorrow for possibly getting some content coming out with them. So we'll see. Get some gameplay video going for that. That'd be fun.
Absolutely.
And then this week's going to be pretty packed with cool stuff for sure. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Well, again,
so jump on our spaces. We'll do some recaps in the interim.
Exactly. Jump in the spaces every Friday or Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern to shoot the shit, find the alpha, figure out this space together. And of course, if you're not able to go on the spaces,
we had a good week last week.
It will be. Yes, we did. There will, of course, always be the NRN Discord where all the alpha and everything that we're there to help you guys. Remember, you don't have to do this by yourself. And for those people that their friends already left the space, we're here to help you guys out. And shout out to all the NRN gang that went to Art Basel. And hopefully you guys all get back home safe and without COVID. That's the main one.
Right.
Because everyone just gets sick.
I also did we opened a farming channel for airdrop farming. I wrote how to farm Solana, pretty much step-by-step directions on how to go into that. Pretty good opportunities over there. I'm going to do the same thing for Injective, which is another layer 1 that I've been holding for a long time, but they finally actually started doing shit. Same thing with them. There's a lot of opportunities. I just think this is the 100% of the time to get back in now. If you haven't been on the sidelines waiting for stuff, or think the prices are going too high right now, whatever, if you haven't bought them, don't buy anything yet. Just start doing stuff because there's an insane amount of opportunities for free airdrops and potential airdrops right now that is you definitely don't want to miss. I feel like this year is going to be just an insane, upcoming year. 2024 is going to have an insane amount of airdrops.
Absolutely.
And I
get ready for it. And we're here to make some money, have fun, and be the degens that we're always going to be. So for everyone listening, thank you so much. Catch us next week on another episode, or this week on another episode of NerdFT Radio, and head over into the lunch spaces Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Cryer's the host. Grab a brick, throw it. Don't throw it at Cryer. Grab a brick and don't throw it. Build something with it.
Build something
Peace.
new. Shout out to Cell for buying a cool cat. You see that? Giselle.
Did I know she bought a cool cat?
Yeah, she just bought one. She was
congratulations. Let's do it.
But yeah,
cats are about to pump. Cats are about to pump. We'll see. Peace.